The Gingerbread village held its breath. It was a morning of absolute stillness until the first tremor hit. It started as a faint ripple in the ground, a low thrum that traveled through the foundation of every house. Sugar-dusted streets shivered. Somewhere in the distance, a stack of peppermint logs slid, clattering against the hard, candied earth. The ground did not just shake, it groaned. A deep, heavy rumble pushed up from the base of the chocolate volcano, vibrating through the souls of every inhabitant. Small cracks spider-webbed across the icing-plastered walls of the nearest cottage. Cocoa air, gingerbread dust fell like snow, settling on the silent, trembling paths. The village square went completely still. Every window shutter rattled against its frame. The rhythm of the earth changed. Candyland's sweet dream. Something massive was waking up. The ground tilted, just enough to make the candy cane fences sway in unison. Then, the mountain shuddered again, harder this time, and the silence broke. The summit split with a sound like shattering glass. A jagged fissure tore across the peak. Candy stars glittered, chocolate balloons floated over rivers and trees. Giant chocolate balloon, rainbow gleam, candy sky swells. It stretched, thinned, and then burst in a violent, messy spray. Chocolate cascaded, slick, steaming slopes, gravity's immediate pull. The liquid surged down the mountainside, a relentless dark wave that tore through the landscape. It gathered speed, overflowing the natural banks of the mountain path. Rocks and candy-coated boulders were swept aside, as if they were nothing. The surge hit the foothills, carving a new, brutal channel through the ground. It slammed into the river basin below, with enough force to send thick, frothy waves arching high into the air. The landscape that had been stable seconds ago became a rushing, churning tide. There was no stopping the flow. The chocolate river rose, dark and thick, swallowing the lower slopes and pressing forward toward the village with terrifying, liquid momentum. The small, brown bear stood frozen in the center of the red and white candy cane bridge. He had nowhere to run. Beneath his feet, the river had transformed from a gentle stream into a violent, churning torrent of molten cocoa. The level rose with terrifying speed, the thick, dark liquid slapping against the underside of the bridge planks. Every impact sent a jolt through the structure, causing the candy canes to vibrate and hum. The bear dropped to all fours, his paws locking onto the sticky, hardened railing. Bridge groaned, tide surged, wave struck supports, forcing the entire bridge to tilt at a sharp, sickening angle. Slick surface, claws scraped, river near, swirling with a thick, unrelenting force that threatened to pull the bridge apart. He pulled himself higher, his muscles straining against the vibration of the structure. Candy rail pulsed, face pressed cold, waiting, his heartbeat hammering against the bridge as the liquid reached the top of the supports. The bridge gave a final, splintering crack. The bear scrambled off the structure, paws pounded. Volcano roared behind, spewing a massive, blinding wave of white chocolate cream. It cascaded over the candy hills like an avalanche, burying rows of candy-coated chocolates in seconds. The bear accelerated, his lungs burning. Tides surged, swallowing trees, viscous flood. Lollipops snapped in the pressure of the current, their stems breaking like dry wood, drifting away into the swirling brown mess. The bear reached the outskirts of the village, cream splattered, ignoring debris, sealing the gaps. He lunged for the threshold of the first house, his paws scrabbling for grip on the icing-slicked porch. He threw his weight against the heavy, cookie dough door, shoving it shut with a final, desperate heave. The latch clicked home, just as the white tide surged past the window, blotting out the light and turning the world outside into a thick, suffocating sea of sugar. The bear pulled himself upward, fingers digging into the sugary mortar of the chimney. He gazed from the roof, a sweet Candyland vista. Below, the river had surged beyond its banks, effectively erasing the path he had taken. He watched as the red and white candy cane bridge took one final, shuddering hit from a heavy wave of chocolate. The structure snapped, pieces adrift in the opaque current. Once a source of constant, rhythmic booming began to fade. The tremors in the ground slowed, then vanished entirely. The violent spewing of cream stopped. A heavy, thick silence fell over the kingdom. As the temperature dropped, the pools of liquid chocolate began to skin over, hardening into glossy. Dark sheets held debris, stark trees like broken pillars. The bear remained on the roof, motionless, his gaze traveling across the ruined landscape. Azure sky, stark light, discarded sweets. The kingdom was quiet, frozen in a state of sudden, permanent stillness.